What is your favourite colour and why?
Right, I haven't really got a favourite colour, but what I can tell you is at home here, a lot of the walls are painted white, but I really like pops of colour all around the place. And at the moment, in terms of those pops, I'm really into blue, yellow and orange. But if you really, really, really wanted to push me, I think I'd go for blue.
What does it mean to have been awarded the role of Director of Education for Cardiff Council and being sat here now?
So two things. It's really exciting. Education is going to change quite dramatically in Wales. You, like I said, you'll have heard on the news this week about the new curriculums. There's lots of changes happening, so it's a really exciting time to be involved in education, and it's going to be a Welsh way of education as well. And then the second thing is it's a real privilege, because I was taught in a Cardiff school. I went to 2 primary schools and a secondary school in Cardiff, so it feels like a real privilege to actually now be the Director of Education, because I'm a product, a beneficiary of that. So I feel honoured. It sounds corny, but I really do feel honoured and privileged.
No, that's awesome. Definitely. You know, I think too often we don't see people becoming products of the system that has benefited them so much. So it's great to see, and that Cardiff schools that work. You know, if we needed more evidence of that, which we might not have anyway, but if we needed more evidence of that, we've definitely got it now.
Question is, what's your favourite documentary?
Okay. That's a tough question. It's not so much documentaries that I like watching. What I really like watching is travel shows, because I really love learning about all different parts of the world and different cultures. But my particular favourites in terms of travel shows are the Charlie Boorman and Ewan McGregor series. Have you seen those, when they travel on motorbikes, a long way up, a long way round?
Yeah.
Really enjoy those, because they go to very different places that tourists wouldn't necessarily go to. And then I'm also a great fan of the Jack Whitehorse series. Have you seen those, when he goes on holidays with his father? Because not only do you see more of the world, there's also a bit of humour, and it's also a lot about their relationship as well, so I really enjoy that. So not so much documentaries, but it's travel shows I love watching, especially at the moment during lockdown, where we can't go many places.
Drink a whole cup of tea. Anyway, so what are your ambitions and what do you hope to achieve in this role?
My ambitions. So ambition is a great word. So my ambition is for you as learners and young people to have ambitions for your future. And I really want to have an education service and system that helps you realise those ambitions. So ambition's a great word. You must never lose it. And also I really want the children and young people to have a greater influence on the future of Cardiff as a city, because you are the future. What do I want to achieve? So from a building background, remember from the two truths and one lie, really want to build more new schools to replace the old tired ones across the city, so you can go to school in lovely, modern, bright learning environments. I really want you to have an exciting curriculum to be taught in your schools, because I don't know whether you saw on the news this week, the Minister for Education announced that the new curriculum now had legal powers. And finally, I really want schools in Cardiff to inspire you as learners. And then it would be really lovely to see lots of you then to become the teachers of the future in Cardiff schools. That would be fantastic. So how many of you have thought about being teachers?
So going out of school just to come back to school, is it?
Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. You know, I look at you know, some teachers in my school especially, and they've been there as students as well. And I'm thinking, wow, 50 odd years of your life and you're still here. You know, I've got to be honest. I do look at some of them and I think, wow, where have you gone? But actually, then I realise you don't necessarily need to leave these places to go far, you know, metaphorically in your life, that is.
and you end up realizing that they taught your friends' parents and some of your
They
teachers in
taught
the
my
existing school.
parents.
But they would have seen so many different people and engaged with so many different people.
Yeah, there is that. There is that, and they've been there over that sustained period of time. Whereas, there's a lot of young teachers as well who, really haven't got that much of an understanding over what has come before them as well. So it's nice to get that balance.
What inspires you to work in education?
It's really interesting because, like you said, I alluded to earlier in the two truths and one lie, I didn't choose education at the beginning of my career. I chose to become a surveyor. But I got into education, and then once I was in it, I was hooked because it's so fulfilling. What other area can you work in when you have the opportunity to impact directly on people's lives and improve their opportunities, prospects and life chances? It's so rewarding. And in my old job, I used to work in Welsh Government in the Department for Education, and people there just used to get so hooked on education, they found it hard to leave because they just found it really fulfilling. And also it's complicated. It's a little bit like a Rubik's Cube. So you think you've sorted one side of the Rubik's Cube, and in sorting it, something else has happened. Because if you think about it, what the teaching and learning that happens in the classroom within a school, and the school within all the schools of Cardiff, within the system right across Wales, with different teachers, different head teachers, support staff, catering staff, it's a very complex system. So it's the complexity as well of being able to improve things that has always interested me as well. So yeah, the impact you can have, and it's so fulfilling, and it's also really challenging.
What do you do in your spare time?
So, this is a really tough one as well, because I'm really busy with my job, and I've always worked full time, and I'm also a mother, so I don't get a great deal of spare time. But when I do, I really love walking, and I really love being by the sea. As you would have guessed earlier when I said about I used to sail, love the sea. And really, if I'm really honest, I love nothing better than chilling at home with my feet up on the sofa, watching TV, with a big bag of crisps or a big bag of popcorn.
I think we can all relate to that one.
Yeah, been doing a lot of that recently.
Yeah.
What life lesson did you learn the hard way?
So I think my answer to that one is it's learning that life is a marathon, not a sprint. So, when you leave school, you have these ideals about what you want to do in life, and you kind of get quite a few setbacks when you don't feel you're where you should be. So I've learned over the time that I've been working since I left my education that it's a marathon, not a sprint, that you'll get setbacks, but to learn from those setbacks, and also that don't let it deter you from what you want to do either. So that's a hard lesson when you have those first setbacks when you first leave school.
I agree with that.
Same.
Yes, the most controversial question of the century.
Oh, God.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
So my instinct as a mum is to say the chicken because of the paternal instincts within me. But the scientific part of me says surely it must be the egg, because eggs were around long before chickens were. So, I think it's the egg.
So, how do you get a chicken out of an egg if chickens didn't always come out of eggs?
Well, it's evolution, isn't it? Wouldn't it have evolved?
I know, but what would come out of the egg before? So what came before the chicken?
Dinosaurs, and then the eggs turned
Now that's a question to look up.
Okay, then let me go my question. Who is your role model and why?
Okay, so my father. And why? Because he was a really resilient, strong person. He faced a lot of hard knocks in life, but that didn't deter him. I also admired him because he had a really strong work ethic, really hard worker, but also quite interestingly, he also was a great believer in work-life balance. When he came home, he left work and work, and I really respected that. He was also fiercely competitive, so there's a little bit of a competitive streak in me as well sometimes, and he was very, very honest and loyal. But do you know what I really liked most about him, and what made him the real role model for me, is because he really liked to have a good time and he enjoyed life, and I think that's really important.
What is your favourite food?
Oh, so this is a really tough one for me. Okay, so can I cheat a bit? Because the reason being is I love all food. I just love food. I'll eat anything.
So much.
I know, I just love it. I love it. I love a curry. I tikka masala, typically English. I love a tikka masala. I love Italian. I love pasta. I love pizzas, and I love a Sunday roast. My roasts are like a mountain. So yeah, I love all food. But it's like on the colours. If you were really, really going to push me to choose between those three, I think it would probably be my roast dinner on a Sunday.
Can't go wrong.